Hey, I can hear you. Yeah. Nope. No, I still can hear you. I don't know if my mic is on too. Is your mic on? It should be on. No, I can't hear you. My volume is up, but
Mic volume up. All right, can you hear me now?
there you go.
All right. So we basically got to start this all over.
Oh, so that means all that you said was not recorded or what?
No, that it was no nothing I said was recorded all that time. Give me a break. Give me a second. All right. So I'm just gonna have to cut this up. Oh,
Okay.
this is crazy. No, because I did all that talking for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, Jenny was supposed to test this out today, so she could send a link to her friend, and because she wanted to join. So we'll see.
All right, I'm gonna leave then so you start the introduction.
All right, go ahead. Let me start over. I just cut this when I'm ready. We live. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Marion Ghana Show. This is me, Stephen D. Lyles, and we're back at it again. Our last show, we talked about surrogate pregnancy. Pretty good show. Had a lot of fun. I discussed the ways that, or I, we went over the definitions. We went over the understandings. Then we went over how, from my side, being a man, that men feel about it, and also, what I guess for Monday, how women feel about it. And it seems that men and women are total opposites on a lot of views when it comes to surrogate pregnancies. But even more so, should a woman, should it be mandatory for a woman to give her husband a son, not just a child, not just children as we discussed Monday, but should it be mandatory that if this be the demand of the man, that the woman, if not able to bear a son, that that man has the right to have a child with a surrogate mother, let's say. Concubine, surrogate mother, all the same thing, depending on how you go about it. And if that's the case, does he have the option or the choice to decide which way that surrogate pregnancy will be done, as we discussed the other day, which is traditional and gestational. Like I said, I still don't understand why they name call it that, but look into that another day, another time. But that's just how it is. So we're gonna get into it quickly, no holds bar, so we could discuss further. You there?
Right here.
All right. So I promise you that we will get back to this point before I move on with anything else. And thank you for joining again. So now, as we didn't have time Monday, discussion goes to this. Should it be mandatory that if a man, first of all, let me ask you this. If a woman don't want a child, do you think a man has the right to go another avenue to have that child?
Hello. You said I didn't hear the full question. You said if a woman doesn't want a child and then wants it.
Does he have a right to go and have it with someone who will have his baby?
Oh yeah, that's 100% yeah. If she doesn't, that's why there should be an agreement. So if the man is lucky enough and the lady open up to him that she doesn't want a child, then the man is free to do whatever he wants. Some ladies won't even tell you, and they'll just be wasting your time and telling you, "Don't worry, God's time, you're gonna have kids and all that." So you should be happy. The man should be really happy if the woman opened up to you and told you, "I don't want kids," so you can figure a way out.
All right. But ultimately, he still is by his own option. He has the choice to go out and have a child elsewhere while still maintaining his marriage.
Marriage, yeah, yeah. You know, this is a really complex situation because first of all, marriage. That's why you have to have that kind of agreement before you get married. Getting married in the first place, we know marriage is an institution made by God. That it first begins with husband and wife before kids comes in like gifts from God, like a bonus to the marriage. So if you don't want to have kids, why did you get married in the first place?
Yeah, it's not a perfect life. Things don't happen the way they should in this world. And I take my brother for instance. When I told you he was married to a Liberian for about 11, 10 or 11 years, it wasn't until after they married that she told him that she doesn't want to have kids.
Mm,
She didn't want to ever have kids. He just assumed that because of where she came from and the way her family, her entire family was made up. They
I
never discussed it. It was never a discussion. So it wasn't until a while after they was married that this issue came up. And it caused a lot of conflicts in their marriage.
mm-hmm.
Eventually she did give birth to one boy, one son that they have together. But needless to say that because she didn't want any more children, that the marriage didn't hold. And they've been separated, I mean divorced for well over maybe 2 decades now. But just to give you an example, that even in my family, I've seen this happen, that people don't always talk about everything. So once that's the case and um, you're in it. So decisions have to be made. And that's why it says, say like, this is the situation that after marriage, you find that your wife don't want to have kids. And you as a man want to have kids.
Well, the lady don't even have a say. She can't even have the authority to have a say in this situation. Since she made up her mind not to have kids on her own, she should first realize that this is a relationship. It's not just what is going to benefit you or just what you want. It's about what both of you want, and then you compromise. So since she doesn't want a kid, the man might as well as just go and get a kid of his own if he wants one. So that means he can get it. I would rather prefer he get a second wife instead than having a child out of the.
So rather than going and get a surrogate mother, you think it's better than he should take a second wife?
Surrogate mother, she will always be in the picture anyway because genetically You didn't carry the woman has no blood running through the child's vein. You have no part of you in that child's life. Like, how do I put it? No part of you at all. No eggs. You just willingly decided on your own. So whether he marries another woman or just a surrogate, it's still the same because now she's gonna be like a side chick. She
So
will.
first Monday, you was singing a different tune about, and I broke it down. But like you said, on Monday, you could take the egg from the woman and put it in a surrogate. That was if her eggs were still
Right,
working. Most women at a certain age, eggs can't be
right,
fertilized.
right.
So honestly, I don't really think that plays a big part in it either way, as I told you before, because the child is still not growing inside of you, and that person who was carrying that child is always going to have a stronger connection. But I'm just a little shocked that you're saying that you
Oh,
think it'd
wait
be
a minute.
better.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
I think I didn't get your question straight. You didn't tell me that the lady's gonna give her egg to the surrogate.
I didn't say she was. I said
Oh,
in some cases that is the instance, but I said in most cases, at a certain age, most women can't do that anyway.
mm,
So the majority of these situations are going to be that the woman doesn't have fertile eggs in the first place. So that's the majority of these type of situations. It's very rare that a woman have a fertilized egg and just don't want to carry. That's very seldom. So sticking with the what happens the majority of times, her eggs are not fertile, or she just don't want to have kids. Regard which why is it a difference? Her eggs is not fertile, or she just don't want to have kids. What difference do it make? She can't have kids.
yeah, yeah.
It's
There
the
is
same
a difference,
outcome.
though. Yeah, she has the eggs. It means she's fertile. She can have kids, but she decided on her own not to have kids. So I think the best way is just to donate her eggs to to the surrogate, so she can at least have a part of it in the child that is yet to come.
The original question is that do the man have is it the man's right to decide whether a child will be born regardless if she wants it or not?
It's not just the man's right. The man doesn't have the full authority. It should be on both sides. They should decide on it. They should agree on that because
So
a child is a whole lot of work. It's not just one party who's gonna take care of that child.
so man don't have a right if he desires to have children on this earth. He doesn't have that right.
No, you don't have the right to just do it on your own because you feel like it. Once you're in a marriage, once you're in a relationship, it's one thing to just be a man. You're not married, you alone, you just want kids. So you can have it whatever way you
That's
want.
not the situation. We're talking about marriage.
Yeah,
You're
so you
telling
have
me
your
that
right.
you're telling me that because a woman, if she say no, that man has to live with it and die with not bearing his seed into another person to replicate himself in order that he can pass down his legacy, his name, into a new generation. Are you serious? And
First
this is
of all,
this is all that's going to happen. It's all going to be blocked because one woman who you call wife says no. Are you serious?
yeah, it depends on the kind of wife you choose. Because even nowadays, career women, big time career women, want to have kids. So I don't know which kind of woman you have that um she's gonna say I don't have a kid and she doesn't have a kid of her own yet. It's one thing to already have kids as a woman and you enter a new marriage and you said no, I don't want any more kids. But here lies the case you just don't have any kids at all. Who wants to die alone like that? You should have kids. That's the reflection of you. That's what will make you to keep going. Give you the encouragement. What
You already said that some people just don't want to have kids. These modern day women, this, that, and the other, career path women. Some girls, some females just don't want kids at all. They don't even want to be bothered with kids. But I'm talking about the outcome. The outcome is that your wife is not going to be able to produce you a child. For whatever reason, we discussed different reasons. She's not going to be able to bear your child. Now, do you as a man, are you able to say, hey, since you can't bear me a child, I'm going to make other arrangements so that I make sure I have a child, that I give, that I'm
Mm,
actually a father?
no, you don't have that right. If you are able to do
Wow.
that, then you should maybe have the conclusion that you want to be alone just with that child. Because marriage is marriage, no matter what. You have to find a way to convince your wife, to talk to her, to understand the importance of what you want.
Let me ask you this different scenario, flip flop. Husband and wife get married. A year later, wife says, I'm ready for us to start a family. Hubby says, I understand that, but I don't want any children. So I'm going to get, I guess they call it a vasectomy to make sure you don't ever get pregnant. I'm not into having children. With that,
It's the same thing. You come on a mutual agreement. You make sure he understands the importance of the kids you want, of what you want. If he doesn't get it, either you stay out of it, you just stay out of it. You don't just go on your way to have another kid from somewhere and you're still in that marriage with the same person. Because one way or the other, he's going to be affected to this kid.
I don't get that because every situation that I heard of like this, the woman says, well, if you're not ready for us to build a family, it's better for us to be apart and then get divorced.
That's right.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. See how quickly you jump to saying, yeah, that's right. That's right. You see what I'm talking about?
It's
You
the
see
same.
what I'm talking about? You see, no, you see how quickly you jump and said, that's right. But when it was the opposite way, it was like, well, the convincing and this, mutual agreements, and tell them how important it is. But when it was the flip side, it's like, that's right.
Listen, I told you
No.
even with the first aspect that when
What
the
you
guy wants a kid so bad and the lady said no, she's not gonna have kids, she doesn't want to go through that process, he should either divorce her or
no.
stay.
You said nothing about divorce now. Now, now you want to bring it up because of what I said. Now, see, 2 minutes ago,
I
if
I
2 minutes ago,
it's
no, 2 minutes ago, if I said that, well, if his wife don't want to bear home kids, is it okay if he divorce her and go marry another? You would have said no. You would have got into, oh, well, this isn't the Bible, blah, blah, blah. But yet, listen, I know how, see, I already know where these things go. I get it. I get it. But I'm going to tell you like this. I believe that the man has 100% right to go out and have a child elsewhere if his wife can't or is determined not to have children. Now,
until
this
he
we was
divorces.
going to dab in. We was going to dab into a little further. What if his wife do bear him children but can't give him a son? What if one, two, three, four, and you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to go for number five. You got four girls.
Uh-huh.
Now you're like, you know what? I'm just not able to conceive a son with my wife. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore, I'm going to attempt to have a surrogate um, mother birth my child, one who is more likely to have a son who has given birth to boys or whatever.
I like the word more likely because first of all, our eggs are not labeled boys, girls. They're not labeled like that, and no woman, no human being has that power to determine. Oh, I want a son, so God, just give me a son. Pregnancy came, boom, it was a son. We don't just demand things from God. He gives us what we deserve. So if you want a son, and
Nah, God don't give nobody what they deserve because none of us would be here right now.
yeah, I'm just talking. You know what I'm trying to say? He gives us what we know we can handle. So if God is giving you a daughter and he's not giving you son, you should deal with it. That is what you face. That is what he thinks or he knows you'll be able to take care of. People do that, men do that, and at the end, they finally get a male child, but it's not theirs. It's from someone else. Like even the child don't turn out to be a real, like how do I put it? Like a responsible guy. So what's the difference?
You're jumping from a man wanting to have a son to what the child going to be like 25 years from now. How is that possible?
Yeah, because it's a level thing. God,
Yeah. So you deal with the first level. Nobody knows what their child is going to be in life. We don't we don't sit here and determine that before we go and have kids. You're even going to build a family or you're not. If she cannot bear him a son after so many attempts, does he have the right to go elsewhere to bear a child in order that he may have a son?
no.
Or he's just stuck with having daughters?
You have no right to do that. You have no right. I don't know which kind of woman will just say, I really don't know. Be like, oh, I keep giving you female children. We are not, except you are in a royalty, like where the male child is like so much needed. So much needed. Like we need a male child to continue this, to be the heir of this throne or whatever, this royalty. But you have no right. Even at that, men don't do that. It brings a whole lot of problems. It brings a whole lot of confusions. Just stick to whatever God gives you. If God gives you female children, it means your generation is over. You don't have any male son, male child. That's it. You don't have any right to go elsewhere.
So say like you were a successful man. You built a corporate business. You're well known all over the world. You're a multi-millionaire. You have these daughters who are going to one day get married and be under the name of another man. So everything you worked for all your life to be able to pass down that legacy to a very own clone of you, your very own son, has to be permanently blocked because you as a wife say, or these wives will say, "Oh no, you only get what God gives you." But yet you're saying that you only get what God gives you. God gives you only what you can handle. Where is that same thought? Where's that same logic when it comes to the point that God has not given a barren woman a child, but yet you got to go through all the science stuff or the surrogacy in the first place? You're going beyond what you were allotted by God. You see how when the tables are turned, you keep switching your view and your logic?
That's how I'm just telling you how I understood whatever you're asking me. You saying that when you don't have a son, then all your fortune will be what blocked or whatever, your legacy will be blocked. So what are your female children for? There are women out there who are outsmart. They are so smart. They are brave. They are courageous.
Name, name. Those females are not going to carry your name. Your son will carry your name and your legacy. A man's legacy is not carried by his daughter, it's carried by his son. Your
Hmm.
name stays alive. It doesn't end when you have sons, it ends when you only have daughters.
Okay.
If if you go too many generations like that, your name will be wiped out completely. All of your generations. So a man who has fought, been through so much to make himself as successful as he may be, get to that high point in his life where he's going to look at everything that he's accomplished and say, you know what? Now I've done exactly as I desired to do in this life in order to have someone who could carry on with my work and my name. But you're telling me because the selfishness of a woman, that shouldn't be possible. See, what you fail to understand is that the purpose, a man's purpose is bigger than his wife. And I think that's what a lot of women get it mixed up, that they believe that them being a wife is the main and primary purpose of a man. It's, but it's not. God didn't put men here just to lay up with a woman and say, hey, go enjoy yourself, have fun. No, your first priority in life is to be productive, produce, and hand things down to your children in order that you could build um, a concept of, I don't even want to say wealthy, but successful, spiritually, physically, financially, generations after generation that could be the light of the world. It's more difficult to do that when you're only bearing daughters who are being handed off to other men and they're going to be involved with their legacy. Has nothing to do with you after some point. Even with you, you don't carry your father's name anymore. You
No,
see what I'm saying? So everything your father invested in you, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years from now, as you bear more children, nobody's going to know about your father. They're going to know about your husband because it's his name that you carry. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, but before you think about all that, the man who is so much impatient to have a son should have a legacy first to live out.
Chef, what?
Should have a legacy. If you want a son to live off a whole a whole sort of fortune or something, get that first. But you can't be poor, you can't be homeless, you can't be lazy and be frustrating your wife because you want a son.
I'm going to say like this. My my choice would be if I couldn't have a son, well, there would be no situation where I couldn't have a son unless I'm on like number 48 and child number 48 and it just didn't come yet. So, but I don't believe most men would think any different than I do, especially men who want to pass down something in order for their legacy and their name to be carried along.
Well,
Most men desire that.
yeah, at the back of their mind, they might be having that, but I know real men also
No,
will be.
oh, so real only real men keep quiet. That don't even make sense.
No,
You said in
they
the back of their
will
mind, but
they will be
only
content.
real men keep quiet about it.
They will be
That don't make
content
sense.
with what they have.
So this is why I say you keep changing, because when a woman can't give birth, you should be happy with what you have, which is nothing, zero kids. Be happy with that. But yet you're saying that she shouldn't have to go through that. She could use that egg and plant it so that she could have a child that carries her blood, her DNA, this and the other. See what I'm saying? Why go through that? Why not just deal with what you have? Why
Because
be extra? Why do more?
when it comes to children, women bear most part. The only stuff men do is financially. That's the only aspect. Most men don't even know their kids' birthday. They don't know what their kids loves most. They don't know when and where their kids are sometimes. So it's only
I don't
financial.
believe that to be true at all. But even if it is, it makes no difference. So you're saying that because of these situations that, or these, whatever you just stated, that it's different for women that they shouldn't be satisfied with whatever God gave them. But on the man's side, the man should be satisfied with whatever God gave him. That's what you basically just said.
You think women also
That's
just
what you
love
said.
having,
Yes or no?
let me talk. Do you think
Yes.
women
First say
also
yes or no.
You think women also just love having five female children without a son? Everybody wants something. Everybody wants more. If you have a daughter, you want a son. If you have a son, you want a daughter. So it's on both sides.
All right. So you're going to answer my question now?
What's your question? I answered you.
Is it okay? Is it, it should be that if the woman can't have kids, she should stick with that and don't go try to get a surrogate mother because you need to just only deal with what God gave you, right?
I told you. If the woman like she decided on her own, not because she's not fertile, but she is fertile, she just decided not to have kids. The guy has the free way to do whatever he wants.
We already talked about that. So I'm not
No,
worrying about that. You don't want to answer the question because you know how it's going to look. Basically, you're saying that if a woman desire to have children and she can have kids of her own, if it takes her to take her egg out and implant it in another woman just to be able to have birth, that's fine. But if a man is to do it, that's not fine. That's what you're saying. It's the same thing. The woman want to on one coin. The woman want to have a seed, so yeah, she should go do this. But on a flip side, no. If the man want to have a seed, he should just wait on God or deal with whatever God gave him. Doesn't make sense. It actually makes perfect sense because this is the way people think today. This modern womanism or whatever, that it should be women who make all the decisions. Because basically, that's what you're saying, that women should be the one who make the final decisions, not the man. Because
No,
if you go back to what you just said,
I
it
said
leads up. It leads right up to that. It leads up to a woman should make the decision, not a man.
it should be an agreement. Agreement is on both sides, not just one party. I said an agreement between both the man and the woman.
We already told you that. I already told you that there's no agreement between the two. They dispute. They one want to have kids, the other doesn't. We already went through that. Anyway, I already see that you know everything you're saying is wrong when it comes to the side of a man. But I'm gonna just let it be, let it be. But at least I could show that all women, no matter what, no matter modern, no matter traditional, these days that we live in, all women to a certain extent think the same, where they think that women should be running the show.
No,
And this is why things are the way that they are.
that
Me as a
was
man,
said.
me as a man, if I'm in that situation, I will be a man and determine who, where, and how I'm going to move in a different direction to make sure that I have a son. I'm not going to sit there and let my wife tell me that, oh, just deal with what God gave you. Hell no, because it ain't like that for her either.
First of all, I'm not saying that the woman should be the final sayer or something. I'm just saying it should be an agreement. I'm not saying that women just want to be part of every decision you guys make. They don't want to be left out. Like I'm the head. I'm this. I'm
Well,
that.
that's a problem. Some
That be-
things a lot of things you need to be left out. Why can't y'all just mind your business and go about your day and let the man do as he has determined to do? You don't have to be involved in everything.
God gave you the woman so that she can help you
Yes,
financially,
not that she. Uh,
physically, every other way she can help you. Women, some women are so talented, they are so smart, they can
mm,
guide you, the guy, tell you, oh, if you do it this
talents
way,
don't override. Talent doesn't override authority. If you have a helper at home, a maid. If you have a maid at home and she's your helper, does she have the right to be involved in every decision you make? And make you say to the helper, to the maid, well, maid, I want to do um 1, 2, and 3. Is it okay with you? Because I can't proceed until we come to an agreement. Is that what
the
that helper does?
that aspect you said maid, it means house choice maid. She is in that aspect. You don't go as a husband asking your maid that, oh, I'm going to do this. The
No, I'm
wife
talking about you as a wife. Do you go to the maid, and if she's the caretaker of the house, you want to do something different in your house, but you got to get confirmation of the maid before you go and do any changes to your home.
if
Does
you're
that
saying
make sense?
you were better ideas. We are humans. Nobody is perfect. Nobody has it all. Even kids can give you the grown up a very good idea, and you'll be like, "Whoa,
So,
it is like
so
that."
what you're, I want this because this might become very helpful to me one day. You said that in the situation we haven't made, anything that you do in that house concerning that house, you have to run it through her, your maid first. You
You are
help her first in
twisting words.
order to move forward with it.
You are twisting words. Why would
I'm
you
not
jump
twisting
your
it. I'm
listen?
not twisting it.
Why
You
would
you,
you
you use
why
the
would
word
you
helper, so I'm sticking with the word helper.
why would you skip your wife and go to your mate and ask for advice? It's a level of thing. You go to your wife
I don't even know what you're talking about because you're not even listening. I keep saying you, and you keep pointing back at me. I don't even know how that goes.
No, I'm just you means you. It doesn't mean just you behind the camera. We talking to people.
Is a helper equal in determining when you a boss, an employer who have employees. The employees are there to help you attain the goal in which you set forth. Do they have equal rights and equal say? The employer and the employee, do they have equal rights and equal say? Yes or no?
No.
All right. But they are the helper to help the employer get to a certain goal that he set out to do when he built the company
Yeah.
because they are helpers. And that's what it is. Stop trying to make a helper mean something different than when it do. And that's what a lot of women do. Y'all try to make it mean something that it doesn't mean. You as a helper, you you're not authorized to be involved in everything, say and do of a man. You're not. He takes it upon himself based on his qualifications to run his house. He determines you should be involved with and what you shouldn't be involved with.
Yeah, but when it comes to kids, if if any woman find herself in that situation, it is two different things altogether. If she decided not to have kids, that is a different thing. But if she keeps having female children, like you said, and the guy wanted a male child, so he was like he decided on his own. Well, I might as well just get a surrogate to give me a male child. I think that woman just is free to walk out of that marriage because that man doesn't respect you. You bringing that child in your matrimonial home to be looked after. Both of you are responsible for that kids. So it's two different things altogether. Like I said, if she continues having female kids, which is never her fault, and then you decide I need a male child, and just go out of your way, have it out of surrogates, concubine, or whatever, then you might as well dissolve the marriage. I think that's the best way.
Or kids, or girls.
Yeah.
She's probably in her 40s now, and you're telling this lady to dissolve her marriage, go out there, struggle, probably being homeless because you don't want to put up with your man making another choice to possibly go out there and give birth to a son that he could take on and carry on as his legacy. You
Yeah.
see how
You
such destruct you see how destructive and bad advice that is?
You
You're
have four female children, and you went after that one kid that you wanted most.
and
So
you told the
you
wife to to dissolve the marriage and make her life a living hell in extreme poverty and have no one to be there for her ever again because ain't no man going to take somebody with four girls in the first place,
know that.
huh?
You don't know that. You're still gonna take care of your kids, your female children. If that is a decision, okay, someone is everyone's way of solving things. If you feel like it's okay, I can go through it, I can endure it. Another woman's child coming into my home, be like the second king of the house because that's what it's all about. The female children are like,
That went on since the beginning of time, since the days that Adam and Eve gave birth to many children. That's been going on since the beginning of time.
yeah.
So this is why I always say that women should never take advice from other women. They just shouldn't. Women
Hmm.
should never take advice from other women. If they do, they're going to wind up struggling and hurt and in misery and alone for the rest of their life.
Who
No,
have
I
a
want to run this back. I want to show how bad the advice from a woman to a woman is. This the situation that we brought about. A woman has four daughters. One, two, three, four.
hmm
One, two, three, four. Probably late 30s, let's say. Married to the husband 15 years. Provider, take care of her, good father, good
Yeah,
husband, good man, good everything.
sponsor.
So, due to the fact that this man said that, being that we have four daughters, like it or not, I'm going to go over here in order to attempt to make a son. And you're saying that she should pick up and leave all that, even though she's not going to have anything close to that, but she should pick up and leave all that because her feelings are hurt.
Yeah, because you are impatient, and if you can't be patient
Like
enough,
you said, yeah. I said because her feelings are hurt. You said yes.
yeah, if I
This
can't
is
deal with it,
this is why this is why you and your breed, which is woman, should never be in control of almost anything. Instead of using logic and common reasoning, you're sitting up here using feelings of emotion to make a lifetime choice.
let me
Makes no
let
sense. No, makes
me
absolutely no sense.
let me ask you this.
Absolutely no sense.
Let me ask you this. That one son that you were after that you so wanted very bad, you never tried to have an agreement with your wife. You just went out of your way to have that son.
That
What if he
doesn't
became
matter.
a oh? What if how do they call it? Your sperm or whatever is full of female case and you still went ahead and have another
That's not how it works. That's not how it works. But anyway, I was going to get Jenny on or a friend of hers telling me that somebody is keep trying to get on. I don't think the person knows that they can't they can't even I can't even accept anybody on here without it being video. I click the guest on, you get this, and just give you a couple options, and none of them is bring you on. So the person is not on camera. If they're not on camera, StreamYard doesn't allow you on.
did you send them
So, huh?
did you send them the link?
No, they're on, but like I said, if they're not on video and just
Oh,
watching, StreamYard won't allow them
oh okay.
allow the option to
Oh
bring the
yeah.
guest in. So that's StreamYard. So anyway, like I said, man, women will give the worst advice to other women. And y'all, if y'all listen to this, if y'all listen to this type of advice, y'all will forever, forever
What
regret
advice?
every 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 single situation that you will go through by listening to something like this. And that's why I keep saying that you jumped up because of your feelings were hurt. Most men don't react on feelings. They react off, let me think. If I do A, B, and C, how's it going to look when I get to Y and Z? You see what I'm saying? You sitting up here, oh, honey, no, he broke
That's
your heart.
didn't answer my
Leave
question.
that man. Leave that
So
man for who? For what?
I asked you a question. You didn't answer me. I said, what if
What?
that son you so badly wanted turned out to be a girl? What are you gonna do about it?
Try again.
So you're gonna keep jumping from one surrogate to another, having kids out of the marriage. That is more stress, even worse stress for your wife, and she's gonna handle all that. Did you
She ain't
consider
got to
that?
handle nothing. She ain't got to handle anything. All she got to handle is the one that comes out to be a son. That's it. She don't have to see anybody else.
So what happened to those female ones that are yours?
You provide and send them on their way like Abraham did.
So you
You send
still
them on their way. It's in the contract, baby. It's in the contract. Then you
it
read the
doesn't,
contract. You ain't read the small print.
it doesn't
You ain't
make
read the
sense
small print.
if that's not what we discussed on before getting married, and even after marriage, we keep having female case, and the wife and the husband don't have a mutual agreement on that. You don't try to convince your wife to understand you, but you just like I'm the man, I have the final say, and you
I
just
already
went.
gave. So you keep trying to change the scenario. I already told you the scenario. They don't agree. But you could constantly keep trying to change the scenario to bid to something more favorable to you to give the type of answer that you want. It's not. It doesn't work that way. Why? When someone gives you a particular situation, hey, how would you handle this if this particular thing would happen? Well, if you just move into a little to the left and little to the right and push this over to the side and insert this, like no, I asked you a straightforward question. Why you got to change? You want to change the scenery, the time, the day, the year,
No.
the background? You want to change everything.
So my answer is still no. The man don't have the finances to just go and have it out of his own way, the way he wanted. As long as it's gonna affect me, the wife, and it's gonna affect you, the girlfriend or whoever, marriage. Yeah, you say marriage. So whoever is in that situation, I think it should be a mutual agreement.
Oh, it's gonna be mutually known. We already talked about that they disagree, so it'll be mutually known. It's not going to be something that happened out of the clear blue, or he go do without giving notification.
Hmm. Nowadays, women are not like the olden days. They're not the olden days. Our great grandmothers who endured
Yeah,
all that.
they die by themselves these days.
They are not like this ancient great grandmothers, like as I was saying, who endures everything. The man goes out, do whatever he think he feels he wanna do, and then come back home and she's still there. It doesn't happen anymore. That's
Like I
why.
said, it doesn't happen anymore, and the outcome to that is women homeless on the street everywhere you look,
Well,
with no
to the
man to take
one,
care of them.
to the lazy.
Women by the age of 65 can't provide for themselves because they don't have enough in retirement.
Yeah, that's why you have to plan well. That's why you have to be visionary. You don't just sit down home
Well, less
and do
than 2% of the world are visionary. So that doesn't work. What about the other 98%? Who going to be 9 to 5 workers for the rest of their life and never going to have a dime to put away into savings to last them past their retirement? Doesn't always work out how you plan it. Now do it. Do you think people out
yeah,
on the street today say, hey, if I would have just planned better? Some people don't have an option. That's why we have what is called a working class. This exists. This is reality. The reality, we live in a world that on average, one person can't make it, especially when it comes to a woman. Even when you see things happening now, when the internet started blowing up 10 years ago, with porn this, porn that, if I could say that here, a lot of these women, you look at them 10 years later, you see these stories on YouTube about them. Oh, such and such 10 years ago was a famous this star, famous that star. And 10 years later, they're broke, nothing, and the majority of them are homeless. This is what I'm saying. Y'all think that y'all can make these decisions today and that it won't affect you 20, 30, 40 years from now. And that's what's happening. And that's what a lot of people are seeing. That's what's happening with this influx of homeless women all over the country. Because 20 years ago, they made those same type of decisions, saying that, well, we're not like our mothers from the olden days. But you see where it got them. But the mothers from the olden days kept a roof over their head. The mothers from the olden days kept food on the table. The mother from the olden days was able to raise their kids under a roof and send them to school and give them the best opportunity that they could. But the newness, the modernness, that we're not like our mothers in the olden days, y'all guys are winding up having nothing. Y'all guys are winding up struggling more than y'all ever struggled before in a day in your life. Y'all don't.
yeah, and our great grandmothers, as you were saying, also don't forget the other part, the mental abuse, the emotional abuse they will have to go through dealing with all those
Man,
years to be
man, you could kick rocks with that one. You could kick
exact.
rocks with that one.
But
No,
I
because emotional abuse. I mean, all that stuff is all made up. See, this is from watching too many damn movies. This is them Nollywood movies, them
yeah,
Gollywood movies, them
yeah,
Bollywood movies.
if a man pays attention to his wife, he will know when she's not happy. All those are the emotional abuse I'm talking about. When you pay attention to your wife or whoever you with, your
Because
spouse,
because she's not happy. That's emotional abuse. This is I can't.
because of you, because
Fellas,
what you
fellas,
doing.
fellas, fellas.
No,
You can
you
never
think it's
please.
okay for the
You can
woman
never truly please a
to
woman. Understand that.
just stay at home. You just go out and keep bringing other kids out of wedlock, and bringing them home for her to take care of, and you want her to be okay with it.
Is it better to have your family and have another child join your family and raise them under one roof together as a family, or to be out on the streets by yourself, struggling, miserable, can't even feed yourself, don't even know where your next meal is coming from? Which one sounds more reasonable? I'm just saying.
You
Which
just
one sounds more reasonable?
you're just giving a making excuse upon excuse,
I'm
trying.
asking you, which one sounds more reasonable?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know.
Yeah.
See? See? Oh my goodness, my goodness. All right, so we couldn't get the other guests in here. So we're gonna wrap this up. It's been another good show. But y'all heard hopefully y'all heard enough because it's really not much more to say. I mean, the show spoke for itself. So, like I said, y'all be the judge from here and on. All right. So here on the YouTube, until we get on back on our Instagram, we'll figure out how that's going to work out, and the next day or two, hopefully. But like I said, man, this is the Mary Ghana Show. I'm here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. And we thank you guys for joining us. All right, guys, we out. Chat you the next time.